And here we go live. Welcome to your Friday version of Cup of Cyber. Coming to you a bit later than normal because guess what? There's a surprise, I guess. Today we're going to be talking about the CRISC examination, ISACA's examination certification that talks about risk and risk management for your organization. It's important. It's an important certification if you're looking to move beyond kind of the system level, get into the those levels of the organization that support the what we call the C-suite, the CSO, CISO, the CEO, those kind of folks. This is the certification you want to get. It's your certification that takes you to enterprise risk management. So, want to learn a little bit about the CRISC exam? Hang out after our intro and we'll get into it. Welcome back. Oh, wow. Tell you what, a hot cup of coffee with weird effects going on in there. Be cool if you could buy a cup like that, but that's just the green screen in the back from the Cyber-Recon fake server room wreaking havoc on the cup. It is Friday. Time for the weekend. And even better, time for a little bit of a vacation. So, reason we're a little bit late today is the start of vacation. In the next couple weeks, I think there may be a little bit of troubles with connectivity to the internet. I am not sure right now. So between now and the 16th of March, I'll try to get the videos out every day. They may not be live every morning at 7 like we've done in the past, but when I get back, we're right back on schedule. I'll keep the videos going as much as I can over the next 2 weeks, but Jimmy and Mako and Emily are pushing out the Cyber Insider videos that you've been waiting for, as well as the Get Into It videos for the IT Fundamentals certification. Cyber Insider obviously talking about Security Plus. What else? It is National Chili Day. If it is chilly where you're at, have a bowl of chili. Crazy days every day. Today, National Chili Day. So, getting into the meat of what we've got. The CRISC exam is ISACA's Certified in Risk and Information Systems Control exam. And it talks about risk. And when we talk about risk, a lot of you may be used to looking at things like the risk management framework or the RMF. That's good. That's a great risk framework. And the certification that's tied to that is called the CAP, the Certified Authorization Professional certification. A great certification in the risk field. The main difference between the CRISC and the CAP is how we look at things, our perspective. So for the CAP examination, we look at it from a security person that is working at the system level. So if we look at an organization and we see it broke down like NIST does, we have Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 1 is the organization enterprise level. That's where the CRISC happens. That's at our highest level. That's where the C-suite's at. That's making policies, that kind of level. 2 is that middle ground. That's where we have our business and enterprises. And then 3 is where the systems are at. And BTV, yeah. The background is a green screen. Yeah, it is. We can put whatever back there. That's why on Wednesdays when we have the pirate flag, it's back there. We don't have a Cyber-Recon server room as much as I guess we'd probably put it in the cloud now. It makes more sense. But Yeah, so try to make things a little more interesting. Yeah, it's a green screen back there. That's why if I take my cup of cyber, it's got a little bit of a teal color in it, so you see the weird pixelation going on in there. That's what's happening there. Yeah, it's a little strange. So with this one, we're looking at things from the enterprise level down, and the cap is looking at things from the system level up. Great to have both of them. If you have both these certifications, you're going to have a well-rounded view of risk, of course. I didn't mention it, of course. Wearing red, we wear red on Friday, so of course it's Wear Red Friday. So this question, like most of them you see with especially ISACA, you're going to see the same old song and dance. A lot of things in ISACA certifications are cut and paste from one to the other. 150 questions on the exam. It's got to be completed in 4 hours. We see that on a lot of ISACA stuff. We also see the pricing. We get the pricing here in a second. That's standard ISACA pricing. You have to have at least 3 years of relevant professional work experience in the required IT risk and information systems controls across at least 2 of the CRISC domains. And we'll get to the domains. There's only 4 domains in this one, and it is a good certification. When it first came out, they were grandfathering a bunch of people in, and I didn't think it was that good of a certification. I didn't do the paperwork to get grandfathered in because I didn't think it would go anywhere. And then some years later, I went ahead and took the certification when I could have just been grandfathered in. But I'm glad I took the certification. I can give you a little more background on the actual test itself. It is a good test. It does test you on things that you will need at the enterprise level. Exam registration fee, it's the same thing. If you're a member, you're going to get a discount on it, and that discount is usually more than the cost of membership. So they really want you to join ISACA. So if you're a member, $575. If you're non-member, $760 US dollars. You got 365 days to take the exam after you pay for it, and if not, you just give them your money. So you might as well just take the exam whether you're ready for it or not. I say get ready for it. We'll if this is I guess it's a quick question. If this is an exam you guys think are worthwhile, do we need to put it on the schedule to train, to put some training material out? And where would you rate it? Would you rate it above, below the big exams? Like I think the ones we're looking at are Security Plus, A Plus, Network Plus, Linux Plus, Pen Test Plus, even the CAP exam. Where would you put this? How would you rank this amongst the certifications you see out there? Application processing fee. I didn't mention this in the other ISACA exams. It does exist in all of them, and I should have. There's a $50 processing fee for members and non-members. After you pass the exam, you have to submit some paperwork, and you have to get some folks that know you to sign off and say, yeah, Joe Smith has worked in these 2 security domains, and here's how much time I know they have worked in it. Domain 1, IT risk identification. Can you go in and identify risk? Given sets of situations, can you identify risk identification? Risk assessment. After you've identified the risk, you've figured out where it's at, what it is, now assess it. See how it impacts your organization. Do an assessment of that risk. Risk response and mitigation. Now that you've assessed the risk, what are you going to do about it? And this is where we talk about those things like, are you going to accept the risk? Are you going to transfer the risk? Those kind of things are all in risk response and mitigation. Do you reject the risk? It may be so. And risk control, monitoring, and reporting. This we always have to do this. Well, with risk changes daily. Risk probably changes by minute. We have to have a schedule for monitoring risk and determining what we're going to do about it. So the same thing, we see the risk landscape changes. We have new threat actors. We have new vulnerabilities. We have new technologies introduced to the organization. What do we do about it? And how do we do it over time? That's the 4 domains. There's only 4 domains. It's not a terrible exam. You definitely want to know, you want to know risk, and I think that's important. Things like, what are your KRIs, or key risk indicators? That's a big thing on this. Um, it's probably worth putting together some training on this. If you guys think it's worth it, we'll put together some full training, kind of like we're doing with Security Plus and IT Fundamentals Plus. If you think, yeah, it's pretty worth to do, but I want to get some other stuff first, let us know. We want to put the training together that works for you. It's not all cup of cyber. And I know we've been waiting, and we've only pushed out a couple of the cyber insiders, and I don't think any of the IT fundamental stuff in Get Into It is out yet, but it will. I promise you, it's coming. It's just, man, editing is a bear. Editing is really a bear. So once you get your certification, there's going to be an annual maintenance fee. Essentially, break down this. the bottom part, if you got a bunch of ISACA certifications like CISM and CISA, you're going to get a break on how much you have to pay for them. But essentially, if this is your only certification, CRISC is going to cost you $45 a year if you're a member, and $85 a year if you're a non-member. And there's always the CPEs, 20 CPEs you have to do every year. It's the way of all these certifications. Every one of them now has some type of maintenance you have to do, whether it's just continuing education, or maybe it's continuing education and money. A lot of them are money. ISACA, ISC squared. Some of the annual certifications are as much as some of my early certifications I did. Utah, $85 a year. ISACA, $45 if you're a member. $85 for ISC squared, like CISSP and the CAP and all those things. So pick and choose your certifications. Security, any of the ones in CompTIA, I think you're good. I think it's just continuing education. I'll have to check into that. That's last I looked. It was like that. But that's the way it is. Let me bring this up for you, BTV. This is we can do things like this with we can go into a castle. See, now it's very medieval. But normally we stay in the Cyber-Recon fake server room, just because that meets our theme, I guess. So we have made it to the weekend. Yeah. So enjoy yourself out there. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let your friends know. We're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to make content that appeals to more people, and we're trying to present it in a way that's not the normal, just plain old boring security. I know the first videos I did were more for when I was teaching college courses, and they need to be redone. They're so dang boring. But what works for you? What kind of training works for you? Should we be doing handouts? Is there handouts we could hand out or make available? Is there some aids that we could make available? Should we be recommending books that will help you? So what we're doing this first quarter is Security Plus and IT Fundamentals Plus. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers in March. That's the goal. And if we do it, we're going to make IT Fundamentals Plus on the website, the full course, available to everyone that's subscribed by the end of March. It'll be available for free for those folks that have subscribed. So anyways, that's all I got to say. Hit the bell. You'll be notified when the new stuff comes out. Over the next 2 weeks, I'll get stuff out as I can. I don't know how the Wi-Fi is going to be. So the Wi-Fi. We'll see how it goes. But as always, thank you for taking your time to be here. And be safe out there. And we will see you next week, that's for sure.